What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Ronald Aloysius Pugs back again with another video for you guys. And at the time of recording this, we're just 2 weeks away from Avengers Endgame, which is insane, and it's safe to say we're in the endgame now. Considering the build-up we've had throughout the past 10 years, this spring the MCU is going to change as we know it, and really it doesn't feel like the film should be coming out at this time. Not in the sense that I think it's too early for the film to come out, because I'm actually glad it's coming out in April. It's just that it doesn't feel like I should be going to the theater in 2 weeks and seeing Avengers Endgame. So while we don't know if there will be a post-credit scene for Avengers Endgame, I'd say that it's likely considering it's a Marvel tradition, and while I do think it'd be an okay move not to include any post-credit scenes, I'd personally rather see one. Now the last time I did a post-credit scene prediction was for Ant-Man and the Wasp, where I was pretty close to what we actually saw, so hopefully this prediction will be similar. I also made a prediction for Spider-Man PS4's post-credit scene, which I guess I was close in the sense that I got the tease right, but if you go back and watch my prediction compared to the games, it's very different to what actually went down. But nonetheless, today I wanted to share my idea for the Avengers Endgame post-credit scene that I believe would tie in perfectly to Spider-Man Far From Home, which has been confirmed to take place moments after Avengers Endgame, and with that, let's begin. Similar to Infinity War, this credit scene would be the only one of the film taking place after all the credits have finished rolling, and before we see anything, we have a black screen with a brief moment of clapping once the screen is turned completely black. The screen cuts to a press conference where the character we see in the frame is Happy Hogan, thanking the small crowd for gathering there today for the official announcement of the sale of Avengers Tower. The camera switches to the crowd's perspective where we can see Happy Hogan delivering dialogue with about 3 Stark employees, including Pepper Potts not too far from Happy, all sitting in chairs. From there we cut to a close-up shot of Happy delivering a few more lines of dialogue until the camera begins to move slowly and Happy says something along the lines of, "And now, allow me to introduce the newest owner of the Avengers Tower, Mr. Richards." From there, the camera switches back to the clapping crowd's perspective and the scene cuts to black right before we see Mr. Richards take the podium. So I've obviously set up the Fantastic Four for Phase 4 of the MCU with Reed Richards purchasing the Avengers Tower. I believe this could work despite the Fox deal not being fully completed when Avengers Endgame was filming, and you also skip around the copyright by just referring to the character as Mr. Richards. This would tie in perfectly for the next installment of the MCU, since we do know that in Spider-Man Far From Home the Avengers Tower is being renovated, and we also know that the film takes place moments after Avengers Endgame. So for those who actually stick around to see the credits, they'd have a better understanding of what's going on with Avengers Tower in Far From Home. It was mentioned in Homecoming, but then again we didn't know much about it in Homecoming. Now this scene could go either way, with Norman Osborn taking place of Reed Richards in this scene, and if we do end up seeing something similar to this, we could very well get an actor for Norman in this scene, as well as the announcement of Oscorp's new headquarters during the scene. There have been reports of a Dark Avengers script being developed, which would make sense for this universe's Norman Osborn to purchase this tower, but ultimately I'd prefer Reed Richards being the one who purchases the tower. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought of my Avengers Endgame post-credit scene prediction, as well as share your own down below. I may not have been the only one to think of something like this, so if there's an earlier post anywhere with a scene similar to how I described mine, let me know, and as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow my social medias, and I will see you guys again in the next video.